the interview.
Why you trying to do
I love the people of Brazil.
So why did you take care of? They don't
close to
be
Russia.
related to trade,
Because
Mr.
the
President.
people running Brazil did the wrong thing.
What evidence do you have?
7 years from the time that you learned that people were being stolen from Mar-a-Lago to the time that you picked that you took Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I don't understand your question.
Submarines being deployed.
Say it?
They are being deployed. Nuclear submarines.
Oh yeah, well we had to do that. We just have to be careful. And a threat was made and we didn't think it was appropriate, so I have to be very careful. So I do that on the basis of safety for our people. A threat was made by a former president of Russia, and we're going to protect our people. I hope so. I hope so. I don't know whether or not that'll happen, but I hope so.
Mr. President, why did you fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics?
Because I think her numbers were wrong. Just like I thought her numbers were wrong before the election. Days before the election, she came out with these beautiful numbers for Kamala. I guess Biden/Kamala. And she came out with these beautiful numbers trying to get somebody else elected. Then right after the election, I think on the 15th, November 15th, she had an $800,000 or $900,000 massive reduction. Said she made a mistake. That woman's numbers are. Say it.
That Governor Kugler is set to resign.
Yeah, one of the governors, as you know, the Federal Reserve has just announced she's resigning. I understand it was over the fact that she disagreed with somebody from her party. She disagreed with Tulate. You know who Tulate is? She disagreed with Tulate on the interest rate. So we'll see what happens. But we just found out that I have a open spot on the Federal Reserve Board. I'm very happy about that, John.
And what did Medvedev say to you that made you really mad?
Well, you just have to read what he said. He was talking about nuclear. When you talk about nuclear, we have to be prepared, and we're totally prepared.
Mr. President, on the monthly jobs report, going forward, why should anyone trust the numbers?
Well, that's the big thing. You're right. No, you're right. Why should anybody trust numbers? You go back to election day. Look what happened 2 or 3 days before with massive, wonderful job numbers, trying to get him elected or her elected, trying to get whoever the hell was running. Because you go back, and they came out with numbers that were very favorable to Kamala, okay? To trying to get him elected, trying to get her elected. And then on the 15th of November or thereabouts, they had an $800,000 or $900,000 overstatement reduction right after the election. It didn't work because you know who won, John? I won.
Here's the thing. Your supporters have had issues with these numbers.
I've had issues with the numbers for a long time. But today, we're doing so well. I believe the numbers were phony, just like they were before the election, and there were other times. So you know what I did? I fired her.
Right.
And you know what? I did the right thing.
If any government official going forward is presenting data or information you don't like, should they fear for their job?
I've always had a problem with these numbers. You know, I was thinking about it this morning. Before the numbers that came out, I said, who is the person that does these numbers? And then they gave me stats about before the election. I had a similar problem. I mean, she gave out numbers that were so good for the Democrats. It was like unbelievable. And then right after the election, she corrected those numbers with, I think, almost 900,000 corrections. I think nobody had ever seen anything like it. Well, today she did the same thing with the 253,000, whatever the number was. No. We need people that we can trust. I mean, your question is a very good one. We need people we can trust.
What about Switzerland? What would you like to see from
You know
Switzerland?
who you plan to replace her with?
I've got about 3 very good. I have a lot of good candidates. I will say everybody wants it. I've had more phone calls, but I have 3 people that
They actually have a background in labor.
you know, I could do a long-term thing or I could do a temporary. It's a 14-year term.
Right, but do you put someone in who actually has labor statistics experience?
I'd put somebody in who's going to be honest.
So are you thinking long?
That's all we want. I have a choice. I can have 4 months. I can do a short term, or I can do a 14-year deal. So we'll see. We have a lot of people. We get a lot of good people around.
Can I ask you a constructive question?
Switzerland, that was a shock. The tariff rate with Switzerland, it was higher than other European.
Well, the problem with Switzerland, we have a $40 billion deficit with Switzerland, and I spoke yesterday to Switzerland, but we have a $40 billion deficit with Switzerland. That's a big deficit.
Question on the construction. Can I ask you a question on the construction? You say you're raising $200 million. You're donating a bunch. Others are as well. Are you blocking foreigners from donating money to build that addition?
Honestly, I never even thought of it, but it doesn't matter. I'm putting up my money, but it doesn't even matter. They've wanted a ballroom at the White House,
Right.
and it's been very popular. You know, when we put it out
You're not
yesterday.
ruling out that a crown prince or some European
No, I'm not
or
looking.
Asian
I'm not
official would
looking
give
for
money to
that. You know, you have very strong restrictions as to who can donate, and we go by the restrictions.
Are you going to publicize the name of
It's,
the donors?
it's not a lot of. I mean, it's not that much money.
Will
It's
you
funny,
release
but-
the names
Are
of
you
the
gonna
donors?
Yeah, I'll do that. I didn't even start yet, by the way. But when I do, I'll release
How many
it.
donors do you think it's going to take to get to 200 million?
It was on food, and he also had some other conversations that I'll tell you about later. But he had a meeting on getting the people fed, and that's what we want. And I'll see you later on.
He was going to